right. No rodents, no fish. I'm so unlucky today. My engine is just not firing off because I'm too unlucky. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and I'm really excited today to show you Wingspan Pocket. I will do a solo playthrough of this game, but the solo playthrough is similar to the multiplayer game, just that we have an automa that also does their thing. A small disclaimer before we get started. I absolutely love Wingspan. But those of you who have followed my channel for a while know that this is my most favorite board game of all time. And I do own everything for Wingspan pretty much. So this of course was a no-brainer for me. I pre-ordered this and got it immediately, and I already played it quite a few times. So I can bring it to the channel and also give you my opinion of it. So before we get started, as usual, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's do this. There we go. So what is Wingspan Pocket? Wingspan Pocket is pretty much what it says. It is the big game of Wingspan in just a small format. This is the box. It's quite small. I mean, pocket, of course, this is kind of hard to put in here, your pocket, but you can put it in a small bag or whatever, bring it with you. It does take up a bit of table space, but not too much. So actually, this is a pretty good rendition of the base game, but we will see that during the playthrough. So I will structure today's video as I usually do. I will first set up the game. Then I will say just a few words about the game, and then I will start playing, explaining the rules as we go. At the end, I will just give you an unscripted review, just say a few words about what I like about it and what I don't. And with that, let me set up the game. And with that, we are done with the setup of the game. So let me show you what you see here. In the top left, we have our supply of eggs. This time for the pocket version, we have these rosé pink eggs. I actually don't know if there is a distinction in English for the color. I don't know if there is. Let me know in the comments, because in German you do have this rosé kind of thing and pink, and these are two different colors. And this is not pink, but I think in English you say pink for everything pretty much, in that color range, so to speak. But let me know in the comments if there's something I do not know. I often say this rosé because I think this is a word you can use in English, but most people don't, I think. Then here we have the goals. This is for the advanced mode, and also you have to use it for the solo mode. But in a multiplayer game, you can play with goals. You can also play without. These just tell you what points you get for. You get 1 point per egg on specific birds. So this time for birds worth 3 or fewer points. So we want to have cheap birds in our display. We don't want the automative cheap birds, and also beaks pointing right, here, these 3 birds here, for example, or also these 2. And then here we have the automa deck. At the beginning of the stack of the automa deck, you always remove 1 card unseen. But we will draw cards here from the left to see what the automa does. Here is the nest for the automa. Here we will build the flock of birds. Here, down here, I have my nest with the actions I can take, and here where I have my flock of birds down here. And then here I have my food and my bird cards. And as it does not make a whole lot of sense to have my bird cards down here instead of up there where also the automa has the bird cards, I just swapped these 2 spots. So down here I have all my resources. That makes much more sense. And then here I have my bird cards. That is pretty much the setup. So let me just tell you how this game roughly works, and then I will start playing and explain the rest of the rules as we go in detail. So one of us starts, either the automa or me. There are methods of figuring out the starting player. I usually choose, and I will let the automa go first this game. So whenever it's the automa's turn, we turn over the top card, and then we do whatever it says. The automa collects food cards and also tucks bird cards behind the nest. Each tucked bird card is worth points at the end of the game. And also the automa can then play birds from here, from the display, into their flock with the food cards they have accumulated. And also they can place eggs on their birds and their nest. Eggs are necessary for points at the end, but also for playing birds. You see there are costs here for the birds. I have 1 or 3 actions I can do. I'm reminded here with the brown banner here. All brown banners are things that that can be triggered whenever they are in your flock, and the nest counts for that as well. I can either play a bird. That means I take one of these birds that I have here in my supply. For example, one of these two, the laughing kookaburra or the house sparrow. And then I pay all the costs here in the top left. Here, for example, would be one egg, one invertebrate, one fish, and one rodent. I would pay all of that back into the supply, and then I could play the bird right next to my nest. The other thing I can do is draw any two cards. That means I can draw food cards and bird cards, only the ones that are visible. Bird cards are not replenished during the turn, but at the end of the turn. So yeah, that's one thing to remember. I can draw two food cards, two bird cards, or one of each, just like how I want to. Or I can lay up to 3 eggs, but they need to be on different cards. So at the beginning, this action doesn't do a whole lot because I only have one card. So I can only place 1 egg. That is pretty much everything. Every time I do this, I like take this player marker here, this really nice feather. I really love this one. And you place it here, then I do my action, and then you place it on each other card, like each other bird in your flock, and you activate all brown powers. There are birds that don't have brown powers, that have like green powers that are just like passive effects. These, of course, don't trigger. These are always active, but only when they're in their flock. Cards down here don't do anything until you build them. You don't build birds, but you know what I mean. And you play until one of the players or the automa has 6 birds in their flock. Then every player, then you like finish the round so that everybody has had the same number of turns, and then you end the game. And then you get points for loads of stuff. I will get to that at the end of the game. One cool thing I can show you now is at the end of the game, you just take off the egg of your nest and just put it above so you know it's on the nest. And then you turn the card over, and then it like tells you like what you get points for, and you can just track them here. Really cool. This is a very, very good idea. All right, and with that, we can start playing the game. I will explain the rest as I go. Now it's the automa's turn. So now you see 3 things here. The first thing is the automa takes a food card and also tucks a bird card. So both top left, that means the automa will now take this food card and put it in their supply for like paying for birds later, and take this bird and tuck it behind their nest. This now means that the tucked bird card is worth 1 point at the end of the game. Then number 2, the automa tries to pay as much food as it's written here. So that's 4 food. Only has 1 food, so can't do it. Otherwise, the automa would play a bird. And the third thing is, starting from the rightmost card in their flock, which is the nest, will put as many eggs as written on here, but can also place the eggs on the same card. So here, just 1 egg on the nest. And that is already the turn of the automa. It's very simple. I need to show you how the automa plays birds into their flock, but that is very easy as well. It's very easy to run automa. And then at the end of the turn, we turn over the next card. All right, so we want to have birds that have the beak pointing right, and in the best case, also are worth 3 or fewer points. So I definitely want to like take a few birds that the automa that could help the automa. So I could already play one of my cards here. Will I do that yet? I think I will like collect a few more cards first. I think that's a good idea. So let me take the little penguin. So I will put like my player marker here, and now I will do any of these 3. I will draw 2 cards. I will draw the little penguin and also draw a fish card. Will I draw a fish card? Yeah, I will. I need that one. Okay, that's already my turn because there are no more cards to activate. So I put my player marker on the left again and turn over the next card. Oh, the scarlet ibis. Nice. Well, ibis in English? I'm not quite sure. So it's the automa's turn again. We'll take this food card here and also tuck the card just revealed. And then now pays 2 food cards, which it can. So the automa will pay 2 food cards and 1 egg if possible, starting from the leftmost card. But the egg is optional. So it's not optional. Has to pay an egg if the automa has one. If there are no eggs in the automa's flock, then the automa can just ignore this. But the automa always needs to pay the food. So we pay 1 egg here, put it back into the supply. And now there are 2 ways of playing birds. This one means it's the goals. So the automa will now look at the goal, or I will look at the goals. And now we will take a look at, first of all, is there a bird that fulfills both goals? No, there isn't. There are 2 with beaks pointing to the right, but they're too expensive, like too many points. And the one with 3 of your points has the beak pointing left. So that doesn't work. So then we take a look at the birds who have fulfilled one goal. That's all of them. And then the next tiebreaker then would be the number of eggs they can store. And you see here, the Eurasian kestrel can store 2 eggs. These only 1. The Atoma will play this one. If they could store 1 egg each, then we just go in the direction of the arrow. So take the rightmost card, which also would have been the Eurasian kestrel. This bird is now played. No eggs are being placed, so the Atoma's turn is done. Otherwise, there would have been 1 or 2 eggs placed on the Eurasian kestrel. We review the next bird, and then it's my turn again. All right, I will play a bird. I will play the... Oh, actually, I need some eggs as well. But okay, we'll get that later. So I will play the Laughing Kookaburra. It's worth 5 points. It does not fulfill for this goal, but for the beak pointing right, so that's okay. So this one costs me 1 invertebrate, 1 egg first, then 1 fish and 1 rodent. So I take all of these cards and put them here. And then we continue down with our player marker. Now I can take 1 fish or 1 rodent. Well, I will definitely take a fish because that's what I need for the little penguin. There we go. And now no more cards to activate, so we go back. This one says fish or rodent, so I can only pay 1 of those. Also, if there are cards that have 2 foods on them, like this one here, you do see that slash. That means only 1 of those, right? I cannot use both of those foods. All right, it's the Atoma's turn again. This food card and tuck the mallet here. Oh, I love mallets. Can I pay 3 food? So no bird is being played. And we place 1 egg starting from the right on the Eurasian kestrel. If the Eurasian kestrel already has 2 eggs, then we need to skip that one and go to the next bird or the nest. If everything is like filled to their maximum capacity, then the Atoma just doesn't get any eggs. Okay, it's my turn. So you see, like, once you know how this game works, it flows really easily. So now you pretty much know how the game works. But of course, I will finish playing the game and hope I can win. So I would love to play the little penguin, but I don't have eggs yet. But if I do the egg action, I can only place 2 eggs. So what I might want to do is play a different bird first. This one here is a very important bird for me to play. So what I will do is I will go here and I will say I will draw 2 cards. And I will draw these 2 because that's exactly the food that the sparrow needs. But I still need eggs, so I will have to use that egg action later on. Okay, then we go here. I can get a fish or rodent. There are only rodents here, so I will get 1 of those. Yeah, way too many food cards. This is like a game where you have like loads of cards at some point. And then we go back to the start again. All right, it's the Atoma's turn. 2 food cards here, which is bad. Because now the 3 food cards can be used with 1 egg starting from the left in order to play a bird. So let's see. There is 1 bird that fulfills both criteria. 3 and 3 or less, and beak pointing to the right. That's pretty bad, actually. I should have taken that from the opponent. And then place 2 eggs starting from the right, so both on the crested lark. Okay. That's my turn again. So I will have to, I will have to go here to use that lay up to 3 eggs action. I can only place 1 each, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. Then we go here. I can take a rodent or a fish. Yeah, I take another rodent. Maybe I can find a card that lets me convert rodents into any food. That would be nice, actually, for my engine. But let's see. All right, so that was my turn. It's now the Atoma's turn again. The Atoma is already 2 birds here. I need to pay attention. I need to be a little bit careful. All right, 1 food card. Tuck the second bird under the nest. And can't play a bird here, not enough food, and will not get any eggs. Okay, now it's my turn. All right, now we'll start playing birds. So let's go here. I will first play the house sparrow because that one gives me the eggs that I need now. This one costs me 1 egg, so let's just pay this one here. And then also 1, I think it's called berry, right, or fruit. And 1 grain. Just like that, and then we're good. Then here we get a fish or rodent. Well, I have so many rodents now, but that's also good to have like a lot of food because you can also pay 2 of any food for a different food. So that is also a good thing. All right, and then we go here and I get an egg, which I will put, it doesn't really matter on which bird, but I will put it here for now. All right, that was my turn. Now the Automa's turn. They will get 2 food cards, which is pretty bad because they need 3 for the next bird they can play, and also 1 egg. And we'll take a look here. Okay, we do have 1 bird that fulfills both conditions. That's pretty bad again. And we put an egg on it immediately. I should maybe take more birds from that the Automa could use, but I'm so focused on my own engine at the moment. So let me just continue doing that. Let me go here. Let me play the little penguin. That costs me 2 fish, which I do have, and 1 egg. Then I go here, can take a fish or a rodent. Let me take a fish now. Well, there's no rodent, so I have to. Then we go here, take another egg, put that on the house sparrow. And then we go here. And this one has a pretty interesting, this has a really good ability because this one has a double ability. This one lets me take a fish from the display. There is none, unfortunately, but okay. And also I can now tuck a fish under this card. So you see my engine here, right? I can take a fish here. I can also take a fish here and tuck one of these fish under the card. Each tuck card at the end of the game is worth 1 point. So that's good. So I now have a little engine here. I didn't talk about you before why I wanted to place these 2, but now you know why I chose those. I don't have any birds anymore, so I need to gather birds soon again. All right. The Automa will take these 2 food cards. Doesn't have enough food to play a bird, but will place 2 eggs, starting on the right again. This one is full, so 2 on the Eurasian kestrel. All right, so it's my turn now. So there are several things. These powers don't work if I don't have any fish here. So I think first I will maybe take 1 food card and hope that we see a fish or rodent. Let me take this one here. There's a fish there. That's good. And then I will take the blue jay here. It's beak pointing to the right, and also it lets me copy the rightmost brown bird power of the player to my left, which is the Automa, and that is a pretty good power, although they will most likely play a different bird in just a moment. But okay, still it's not too bad. Okay, that was that. So now I can go here, I can take the fish. There's the rodent below it. Would have been great the other way around. Then I can place an egg. And then here I can take the fish I just got and tuck it under the bird. Under my little penguin. I could also take a fish card from the supply before, but there is none. Okay, then I'm done with my turn. The Automa doesn't have any cards anymore, so what we do is now we take all the cards, including the one I set aside at the beginning. We shuffle them all up. We remove one unseen again, and then we continue here. Okay, the Automa will draw this card here, and also tuck the red jungle fowl. I think all of these birds also exist in the regular Wingspan. So, and then pay 3 food and 1 egg to play a bird. So these beaks are all pointed to the right, but they are all worth more than 3 points. So we go for eggs, which would be this one here. The bearded reedling. Okay, no eggs, so we just continue here. I need to get a move on with the birds. This one here says I can remove 1 invertebrate or 1 grain in order to get an egg. That's a pretty good power to use. So what do I do now? Let me go here. The blue jay would be nice to be plain now, but it would be quite expensive for me. Do I take... Well, actually, it's not that bad. Yeah, okay. You know what? Let me play the blue jay. This one here is a wild. That means I can play anything. So I will just play the rodent for that. Also, I need a grain, which I don't have, but I will just exchange 2 rodents for that. Like this. And 1 egg, of course. And this one is now played. That's great. So now we go here. I can take a fish or a rodent. Let me take the rodent, of course. Then here I will get another egg. Then here I can take a fish. There is none, unfortunately. And here I can copyright most bird power. So I can get rid of 1 grain or 1 vertebrate to get an egg. I will get rid of this one here in order to get an egg. And I will put that one on. These are all too high in terms of points. But let me just put it on the little penguin. All right, that was my turn. It's now the automa's turn. So 1 food card, and also tucking the hummingbird here. And then can't play the food, doesn't get any eggs. So that's already their turn. All right, so we are going to the end of the game slowly because we have 4 birds each already. At 6 birds, we are done with the game. So let's see. What do I want to do? I need birds for sure. So let's go over here and let's draw a few bird cards. This one here lets me get a bird or tuck invertebrate cards. That's really good because I don't get any here. This one here lets me, this one lets me remove a fish for an egg. That is really good because that's like pretty much like what I'm playing with, but I can't get any fish here. So I might want to take a card here again to hope that I can get a fish, but I would have to be like really lucky for that. So, that doesn't make sense. So let me take a few birds first. This one here lets me take a bird for free. I mean, that one isn't too bad either. This one is like really good when I can get fish. So let me take this one here. And let me also one that I can pay for immediately. This one almost. I just need a fish and I can get fish here sometimes. So let me take these 2. Yeah, I guess. So then here, I don't get anything, but I do get an egg. That is something. Let me put it on here, I guess. Then here I don't have any fish. That's pretty bad. My engine really isn't firing off today because I'm quite unlucky with the supply here. And then I can copy that one here, which I will do. Remove that one to get another egg. Because remember, at the end of the game, I don't get points for these birds, like for these categories. I get points for eggs on these birds. So I need to place like eggs on those. But now everything's pretty much almost full, which is pretty good. All right. That was my turn. That was a pretty bad turn. And no fish, no rodents. That's really bad. Okay, the Automa will take this food card, which is again no rodent, no fish. That's horrible. And tuck this card, but can play a bird. That's good. And place 1 egg here on the Reedling. All right. No rodents, no fish. I'm so unlucky today. My engine is just not firing off because I'm too unlucky. That's horrible. I hate this. All right, so now it's my turn again. I need food cards. And let me take food cards that I can actually get here. Yeah, this one, the vertebrate. So let me take the one on the right here. Didn't uncover a fish or rodent. That's bad. And then I will take this one here. I mean, like a double food is always better, right? Oh, there's a fish. That's good. All right, then I will go over here. I will take that fish for free. Thank you. Another fish would have been great. Then I go here. I will get another egg. So now I have a lot of eggs. That's nice. Then I will go here. I will tuck that fish. Actually, I need it. But I can also exchange. That's not the question. Do I want to play this one or that one next round? Or do I want to tuck this one? No, I think I want to play it next round. I need to like get a move on here. So I will not tuck that fish. I will copy the rightmost. I can do that. I can get rid of this one here. That is fine. To get another egg. Okay, let me put this one. Well, I can only put it on the nest. So the nest at the end will only, like each egg will grant me 1 point at the end of the game, no matter where it is. But only these on the right birds will actually score like additional 1 point each. So, okay. That was my turn. So the Automa will, get 2 food cards and not uncovering any food that I need for my engine. That's absolutely horrible. Spend 3 food, doesn't matter which ones, and 1 egg in order to play a bird. Is there one that fits the criteria perfectly? No, but there is like one with a beak pointing to the right. And also the Automa will place 2 eggs, so 1 there and 1 there. Okay, so we are really marching towards the end of the game now because 5 birds there. I will now have 5 birds because I will play a bird for sure. So let me play this one here. Oh, but the thing is, I don't have any fish. Do I want to like get like more food cards first? Do I have the time? I might not have the time. the Automa might finish next round, but then again, I will not be able to play another bird next round anyway. So I think it may be better to just draw any 2 cards. Let me take the double one here. That was bad. And this one, also bad. Okay, I'm really unlucky. Nothing is working here. I can't get any cards, but I can get an egg, at least. Something. I cannot get any cards. I can copy the rightmost burn power. And this one says that I can take a bird for free with a berry in its cost. I will take this one here. That one scores double. Oh, I could actually play this next round. This may be better to play than this one. But let's see. Okay. That was my turn. Really bad turn. So let's hope the Automa doesn't finish now. The Automa does not finish. Okay, that's good. So this food card and tuck the peafowl here. Can't play bird, but will get 1 egg on here. Okay, so let me now play this bird because there's a rodent. That's great. Let me play this bird here. That's one berry, 1 fruit, and also 2 grain, like this. And now I can fire everything off. So I can take this rodent. There's a fish. Wonderful. Then I can take an egg, which I will definitely do. Put on here. Then here I can tuck a fish, which I will not do. I will not do that. Then I go here. I can copy that power. Yeah, sure. Let me take these. Actually, I don't want to do that. These birds all don't help the Automa. They don't help me. So I'm not going to do that. But here I can get a grain or a berry. Let me take a grain. Okay. Not too bad. That actually was okay. Okay, it's now the Automa's turn. There we get 2 food cards and also finish up the game. But I still have 1 turn. So there we go. Then pay 3 food cards and 1 egg. Is there any? There actually is no bird at all that that covers any of these goals here. That's why I didn't take the card last round. That's really good. So now they will just take any card because no goal is being fulfilled, and then we go for the tiebreakers here. First of all, most eggs, they all have place spot for 1 egg. So it doesn't really do anything. Then we go from left to right. So we'll take the Emperor Penguin like this. And also get an egg on the penguin, but that will not be worth a lot of points. So that is not the end of the game because there are 6 birds in anyone's flock. But since the Automa started, I can still go 1 more time. And I will play this bird here. The bald eagle, 6 points. That's a lot. Cost me 1 egg. I will take 1 from the nest, of course. And then I pay 1 rodent and 1 fish. No problem. And then we continue here. So we can take 1 fish. That's nice. Then here we get an egg, which I will definitely put on the Northern Cardinal. Then here we can tuck a fish, which I don't know. Will I tuck a fish or no? I will get an egg instead. So I will not tuck a fish. I can't get 1 here either. The rightmost. Oh, the rightmost. Wait. Oh no, the rightmost brown bird power also gives me a fish, but there is none here, so it doesn't matter. Here I can get a grain or a fruit. So let me take this one here. And then here I can discard a fish in order to put an egg on a bird. I will definitely take the Northern Cardinal. And with that, everybody is done with their turns. So now we go into scoring. Scoring works like this, which is done in a pretty cool way. These are the cards for the Automa. Let me put them up there. And this is my egg. Let me put it up there. We just turn these over. And then we take eggs in order to mark the score. Really clever. This is a really clever system here. All right, so let's start with the Automa first. Then I know which score I need to beat. First of all, the Automa gets 3 points per bird played. That is 6 birds times 3. That's 18. So we go to 10 and to 8 here. Then the next one is for each nest in their egg. For each egg in their nest, they get 3 points. There are none. That's fine. For each eggs on birds, they get 1 point each. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means we are at 25. Then for each tucked card, 1 point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 cards, 8 points. So we are there at 33. Okay. And then also we look at the goals. So the goals work the same for the Automa and for me, and also for like in a multiplayer game for all players. First, we take a look at all birds that have a cost of 3 or less. And for each egg on them, that's 1 point. That's 1, 2. 2 points. Oh man, this is a score I could actually beat. And then we look at all birds with a beak pointing right and count all the eggs there. That's much more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 points. That means they are at 41 points. Like this. Okay. Then it's my turn. So I get like points for the birds on the cards. They just get 3 points per bird. I get like whatever point is printed on there. So 5, 7, 12, 16, 19, 25. Oh no, not that one. I need 2 fresh eggs. 25. That's pretty good actually. Then I get like 1 point per egg on like all cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm at 36 already. I just need 5 more points. I should be able to get that. Then I take a look at all birds that cost 3 or less and get like 1 point for each egg on them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at 42. I already won. I already have 1 point more. But I can also take a look at all birds with a beak pointing right and get 1 point for each egg on them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 52 points. So one with 52 points to 41. Really nice. That actually went really well. I really like how that went. But a few more things regarding this. So I played with the base Automa deck. They actually, if you go into like the box again, and you see there are more Automa cards, 3 more, and these are labeled hard. So to make your game more difficult, you can like exchange like some of the regular cards with the hard cards. I haven't done this in this game here because I just wanted to show like the base game. And also I wanted to have a bit more casual game for recording instead of having like a really like cutthroat one. But you can make the game harder, and I will do that because so far I have definitely won more games that I lost. So I will definitely I'll definitely play this game on hard again, like from now on. Apart from that, in terms of variety, so first of all, for the Automa, as I said, you can replace like the ones here with the hard cards. Then also, you have like many more goals. Look at this. You have 3, 6, 7 altogether. You have 9 gold cards. They're all double-sided. Just for the Automa game, there are 2 cards that you cannot use, but all of them, like there's so many gold cards here. So this definitely brings some variety. And then of course, like all of the birds, because you may think like, yeah, okay, we're like more than halfway through all the cards, but look at all of these that were discarded. These were all not used. So during like a regular game of this, you get like maybe through half the cards in a solo or 2-player game. In a like with like more players, you probably get through all the cards pretty much. Still, I really like the way this is like condensed down here. And now let's go like into like my thoughts, like my semi quasi review. I really, really like this here. This gives me the Wingspan feeling. It really does give me the Wingspan feeling. It's not a different game. It is very similar to the base game, but in a much shorter time. And also it ramps up much quicker because you don't like have to like collect loads of food from the tower first and look at like all the 4 goals for the entire game. You just have 2 goals. They count at the end of the game, not during the specific rounds. There is no really order you need to play your birds in for the goals, just for the engine. And the engine fires off much more quickly because in the base game of Wingspan, you have like 3 lanes and you only fire off the lane depending on the action you do. I love that mechanism. But for a quick, short game, this doesn't work, of course, because Wingspan is like longer, it's more complex. It's just like something you sit down for an afternoon or for evening. This one here, if people know how, if you explain the game, takes like maybe, for people who know Wingspan, this takes like 5 minutes to explain because like very, very similar. For people who don't know Wingspan still, I would say like maximum 10 minutes of explaining and setting up, and then you can start playing. And it's very, very approachable because it's like very simple. You have like, you only have these 3 actions there. The 3 actions mentioned here on your nest. You can either play a bird or draw cards or lay up to 3 eggs. Then you do that, you play your birds, you fire off all your engine here. These symbols, once you know what they mean, they're it's like very good iconography as well. It's like very easy to understand what they do. And it's like very satisfying to like be able to fire off your engine. A small nitpick here is that it is a little bit luck based. As you saw, I could hardly ever fire off this really cool engine here because there were never any fish cards here. That was just unlucky. But if you're lucky and you can fire that off, man, that is a great feeling. But like in essence, I got a lot of free stuff here. That was pretty cool. So there is a little bit of play interaction, not a whole lot, but something like there are cards like I can't find one now, but there are cards that affect also other players. That also like where all players get stuff here, for example. Like everybody gets 1 food from 1 deck. By the way, this is the cover bird for the original Wingspan, the scissor-tailed flycatcher. But this is like very cool because you can place this. This is a very strong power because you can take like any food, but every player gets that. So if you decide to use that power, everybody gets something. That's good. I like that. This is something that is not part of the base game of Wingspan, but they introduced that in one of the expansions. Was it Oceania or Europe? I'm not quite sure. And then also there are like things that you can copy the rightmost brown bird power of a player to your left. If he knows that, he could like play something that maybe helps him more than it helps you. So there are ways of working with this. So I really like this. I think this is like really Wingspan condensed in a small format. So, but who's this for? Okay, I think this is for like 2 kinds of people. This is for people like me who absolutely love Wingspan and who say, okay, I want to be able to play Wingspan in pretty much all situations because I have the base game and all expansions in English. I also have the base game and the first 2 expansions in German. I even have the playmats. I have the large nesting box, and I have the game on every digital platform I own digitally, including all expansions. Yes, this was very costly, but this like enables me to play Wingspan anytime. At any time, whenever I feel like I want to play Wingspan now, then I can play it. If I want to play it in person physically, I break out the nesting box. If I want to play with my German-speaking friends, I break out the German box. If I want to play like when I'm like on the train or whatever, I can play it on my mobile phone. And if I want to play it on the couch without having to set up the game, I can play it on my laptop. So, and for me, this game is great because this also gives me the option to play Wingspan in a shorter time physically with physical components to have like this haptic, this cool haptic feeling in a fraction of the time of the original game. I mean, of course, to be fair, the solo game takes me 1 hour maximum. This takes me half an hour. So it's not a huge difference, but it is a difference. So I think for those people, this is great. This is also for people who maybe enjoy the original Wingspan, but don't like it because it's maybe a bit too luck driven. It's too long. It's maybe too complicated, too complex, right? Which is like, oh, this is all fair. And for those people, this game is great because you can have like a similar Wingspan feeling with all the nice birds, the nice artwork, and also great components in just a fraction of the time. So yeah, also for those people, this is great. And I think this is also for people who want to take Wingspan with them when they go on vacation, for example. You can take the original Wingspan, sure, but it takes up a lot more table space. The box is much larger. You can't just like fit in a game between breakfast and going out when you're on vacation, for example, right? But this you can. This one takes up less table space. The box is much smaller, and also it's like a lot faster. So yeah, I think these are the 3 types of people this game is for. Also, I'm just mentioning that it's like a regular thing for Stonemaier games, but the components are great. The eggs are a little bit different. I think they're like made from more natural resources, but I think like the later eggs also were for the expansions, and I really like this. These feel absolutely great. I really like that. Also, the cards feel great. I have the feeling they're a little bit thinner than the original Wingspan cards. I'm not quite sure now. I would have to check again. They might be a little bit thinner, but they have linen finish. They feel really good. I don't even think you would have to sleeve them. I would like to, but then they don't fit in the box anymore. And this game is not about like premium feel, although it feels really premium. But I don't think you really need to preserve the cards or whatever, because otherwise the box would have been larger. And this game, like one of the big selling points is the small box. Also, I love the player markers as the feathers. I think that's a really nice touch Really cool idea. In the base game of Wingspan, you had your player markers as well. These were just cubes. It's great that there's like this feather here. This looks just amazing. So yeah, all around, this is an amazing game. I really, really like this. And yes, I may be a little bit biased because Wingspan is my most favorite game, but I think this is an excellent small pocket version of the original Wingspan. And this is why it may not come as a surprise to you, but this is why this receives my Sir Thecos Ace of Games Award. Of course, the gold one, because I think this is an excellent game. If you love Wingspan, you're going to love this one as well. If you don't like Wingspan, there is a chance you will still like this one because it's like faster, a bit less luck driven regarding the resources. Of course, your engine may not fire off, but I was able to like have other avenues of actually getting points. So I was just like using like an egg engine here, which was nice. I was able to use like the ability from the opponent quite a bit. So I was able to like find a different way of getting around like my engine problem. I was just focusing on the golds and on eggs, and that works as well. So I think that's a really good one. So yeah, I don't know how much more games you need in the Span series with Wingspan and the many expansions and more expansions coming out, and also Wormspan and Finspan and their expansions and Wingspan Pocket and the digital implementations. I don't know how many more games you need, but I'm actually very happy that this exists. Because this will be a game I will be playing often, and this means I can play Wingspan even more often now. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, that marks the end of my video. Took a little bit longer than I thought, but that's the way it is. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for staying to the very end. Well, as usual, I would like to thank you all for your support, especially want to give a shout out to my generous patrons. The biggest thanks go to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate that. You can also support me by watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, supporting me on Patreon, and joining my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video or my Discord server. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and cheers.